And just like that, we're back.
A16, turn me up.
Welcome into episode 288 of the Views from Checks 400 podcast. Today is August 25th, 2026. Gentlemen, we finished our rankings of each NFL team. We have 2 weeks until the season starts. I've already had a near-death experience drafting Ashton Jeanty in the first round and thinking he was dead. I think it's prediction time.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty on par.
Let's not wait until another ACL tears. Let's get our predictions out the way now.
Yeah, dude, that was we'll get to these predictions. I just want to have a quick conversation about the reporting that came out of that Ashton Jeanty injury into what it actually turned out to be a sprained ankle. I need people to be fired.
I don't know if it's their fault. I did see that the team, the players, they made like one of those prayer circles. Everyone took a knee. I mean, those are usually saved for like stretcher injuries, like, you know, come bring out the cart. I don't know if that was happening, but it might have been on the players.
I mean, maybe. And then maybe I could say the power of prayer worked, or Jeanty is just a little bit of a mental midget with pain tolerance, which also isn't great for my fantasy prospects, but I don't know what I want to believe in. Maybe I'll go with the power of prayer.
That's exactly what you should believe in, and just be thankful and gracious and grateful that that he's not seriously injured.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, go with that.
Also, before we'll get to these predictions, I just got to yell at Jack. He tried to trade me Breece Hall today in our fantasy league.
Already.
Yeah, you're a New York guy, you know? You want Breece Hall, right?
With Breece Hall and Jackson Dart.
I tried to trade you Jackson Dart.
I got Joe Burrow on my roster.
Yeah, Joe Burrow, give him 3 weeks. He'll be hurt again. Then you'll be begging for Jackson.
Yeah, you tried to trade me Jackson Dart. He'll probably be hurt in one.
Now that is unloading picks. Wow. Does not like his team.
No, my second through fifth round picks are all with the questionable tag, all dealing with hammies and shit, like your Mr. Devonta Smith. So yeah, a lot of questionable pieces on the roster right now.
It is pretty funny looking through his starting lineup right now. We still have 2.5 weeks until the season starts, but I think all but 3 guys have the questionable tag.
Yeah. And it's honestly just a miracle that Jackson Dart doesn't. So we're rolling. All
right. Well, Jackson Dart's not going to be in this first prediction we got to do, but get it started hot and heavy. We're picking the 2026-2027 NFL MVP. I don't know who wants to start here. Which one of you have more faith in your guy, but who's winning MVP?
We got to let Matt start.
That's fine. I think who I'm not taking is Joe Burrow, just because everybody keeps saying it's Burrow's year. And I think plus 850 I understand what could be in terms of having Jamar Chase and having the offense and everything that we saw the year they made the Super Bowl. Was that 5 years ago? It feels at this point. But there's a couple guys that I think you can get really, really strong value on. And one of those guys is a guy I drafted, and that's Caleb Williams coming in at plus 1,500, plus 1,400. I like another year in the Ben Johnson offense will obviously open up what he's going to be able to do. And I just think they're going to be another really, really strong offense. It's a really strong roster, and Caleb Williams is nothing but poised for a really strong year.
I like him, and it mainly stems from the coaching, like you said. Ben Johnson, he's the one drawing up and calling the plays, and when you've got a guy like that who you really trust to do it in today's NFL, it's pretty easy to get behind a guy like Caleb Williams. And you guys shouldn't be shocked by this, but my guy's going to be Trevor Lawrence. And in a similar light, he's stepping into year 2 with Liam Cohen, who by my accounts is up there with Ben Johnson as a great offensive mind in this game. Loaded wide receiver room that we've talked about. O-line's coming back. Sort of healthy. Definitely a little bit of a question mark, but I really do have faith in the Jaguars
You
this
were
year.
beefing with, was it Schefter or Rappaport on Twitter about the offensive line health? You were beefing with somebody.
It was Rappaport, yeah. It was. Yeah, it was Ian Rappaport.
Jack's been very high on the Shags offensive line, and I've seen a couple reports. I don't know if they're biased. I don't know whatever the rankings are, but they contradict Jack's statements of this Jaguars offensive line being elite and being a top unit. So we'll see what happens. But I've seen rankings that pretty much go against everything you've kind of professed here about this Jaguar line. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just reporting on what I've seen.
It's all because we don't have that Laramie Tunsil, RIP. I know he just got hurt, but we don't have a Laramie Tunsil. We don't have who's your guy? Dickerson, Lane Johnson. We don't have a Penei Sewell. Like, we don't have a Joe Alt. Like, the big guy that got
Andrew
taken,
Thomas.
Whatever. Evan Neal. So
we don't talk about Evan Neal.
So, we don't have that one standout guy that everyone wants to praise, and that's why we get docked. But what we do have is 6 to 8 deep at O-line that have all started multiple games in the league, and bringing back all 5 starters, really all 6 starters from last year. So the continuity is really going to help, and that's why you won't find them too high up on the rankings, but. Real ball knowers know. The Jaguars O-line is not going to be a liability this year.
Okay. Fair enough.
Could be the second MVP award for Trevor Lawrence. MVP of the last 8 weeks last year.
True. He got him in MVP talks last year. I mean, he didn't receive any first place votes, but he was in he was on the ballot.
It's a lot of what Carson Bench is kind of doing right now with NL Rookie of the Year. Too late, but it's a hell of a run. My MVP for 2026, talked about him in the last episode of our podcast. Had a couple clips about him. Jack's going to hate it. But I've talked about how much I love Jalen Waddle coming to Denver. Bo Nix has the weapons now. He had the volume last year. Now he can turn that volume into stats. Denver, if they win that great division that everyone's talking about, the Chargers, and the Chiefs are there, Bo Nix at plus 3,500 right now is your 2026 NFL MVP.
A lot of value. And I love the value picks, but I don't know that. I'm very high on Bo Nix airing it out and doing everything, but don't know that I'm sprinkling Bo Nix to win the MVP this year.
Nor should you. I mean, what world are you living in, Brian? How does Bo Nix enter the MVP conversation? They were the AFC champs last year, had the number 1 overall seed. He threw the most passes in the NFL last year, and he wasn't even in consideration for the MVP. Adding Jalen Waddle will probably get him an extra couple hundred yards to his end of season finale total. But how does he enter the MVP realm when he was already the number 1 overall seed last year and not even in the conversation? He's got a loaded defense. There's no shot he'll ever be in that conversation.
Defense takes a step back. Waddle adds 450 passing yards and 7 touchdowns to Nix's already solid stat line from last year. He finishes with 4,400 yards, which would be tragic from a 4,500 bet, but 4,400 yards, 36 passing touchdowns, 8 picks, and adds another 406 on the ground. Broncos go back to the playoffs, win the AFC West. He's in the MVP talks there.
I think he can edge into the talks there, but you're asking the Broncos defense to take a step back, and that's not happening. I mean, PS2 won DPOY, 2 years ago now? So, I just don't see that versus a Caleb or a Trevor. Like, no one's really talking about the Bears defense or the Jags defense like that, even though they maybe should. They're not.
Best D-line in football.
You know it.
Broncos don't have that.
No shot. And we saw what
All
happened
right,
week 14 last year.
We did. Before we get to the next one, a little bit of breaking news, major, but it is breaking. It is in the division. Patriots trade Kayshon Boutte to the Texans. Jack is rattled.
No.
A blockbuster move. Give up Jalen Reed and a 7th-round pick in return, but Texans make a move. He was top 5 in yards through the air last year. Boutte was. And he had a pretty good year for the Patriots too. I might be underselling this a little bit here, Jack.
I think he was their second highest productive wide receiver behind Diggs last year.
Yeah, and look,
He was
he's not
definitely productive.
Look, he's not like
There's no AJ Brown, but
an AJ Brown coming over. He's no George Pickens getting traded, like becoming a number 2. This doesn't really move a needle for me.
it's a move. It's a move.
It definitely moves.
It's still CJ Stroud throwing the football.
It's a decent weapon. It's not
yeah.
nothing.
I'm not.
If we're talking about a needle being like
any...
on a clock, it's not moving the hour hand, but it's moving the minute hand. It's doing something.
Yeah, maybe 10 minutes, dude. Like, we're not going that far with Kayshon Boutte. Like, I respect him. He's had a good career to this point. I think, definitely with the Patriots last year, but that was Drake May airing the ball out to him. Like, the earnest it's still on CJ Stroud. I got nothing against Boutte. It's all about Stroud.
Yeah, and another side note, huge for Romeo Dobbs drafters.
Taught yourself that time.
Huge. I had to.
Yeah, he's on your team now, so
I gotta know the
gotta
names,
respect him.
Huge.
I don't want to say I saw this move coming, but like when you go and you get AJ Brown and you get Romeo Dobbs and you pay them what you paid them, like they're your 2 guys. Everybody else just kind of becomes expendable. And a team like the Texans, who Jaden Higgins tore his ACL and they needed another body in there, I think it's a good move, honestly, for both teams. I just don't think it really, at the end of the day, does too much for me.
It helps. It helps Houston.
It helps Houston.
It definitely helps. It definitely helps Houston, especially. It's a good point about Higgins going down. Like they had nobody there. They needed help.
Tank Dell coming off his legs exploding, and Xavier Hutchinson. He's instantly their second best guy.
I know Nico Collins has been amazing, but like sometimes a little bit of an injury thing there.
Definitely. That man's got hammy issues just like the rest of the great receivers.
Yeah. So I don't know. Good move by the Texans of getting out in front of, some much needed wide receiver depth.
Yeah, good move all around. All right, our second prediction here for the 2026 season. Offensive Player of the Year. Reigning Offensive Player of the Year is
JSN.
Oh, God. Now he's going to yell at us. Getting disrespected all offseason. Sorry, JSN.
Can't be doing that, Bri. He was a well-deserved Offensive Player of the Year last year, and I'm going to stay in the wide receiver market. I'm going to go with a guy moving teams. It's Mr. A.J. Brown. I think he's going to go into New England with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. I'm not saying that I'm seeing shades of Tom and Randy, but I'm not seeing shades of Tom and Randy. And McDaniels can certainly draw it up. He won Assistant Coach of the Year last year, so they're in good hands. Vrabel winning Coach of the Year. I mean, they're in a good spot. I think he's going to be a big time player for them this year.
Yeah, plus 4,000 And you got to think 2 games against the Jets, 2 games against the Dolphins. That's 4 games to pad stats. So look out for, some good value there. And I mean, I think their schedule's a lot tougher other than those 4 games, but good value nonetheless.
And I think that might even help them in a way, right? If they got to play a little bit of a tougher schedule and produce a little bit more on offense, they might need to air it out. And I like how that bodes for AJ Brown.
Remind me whenever we do our confidence picks and it's the first Dolphins-Patriots game to bet on AJ Brown to go over like 150 receiving yards. Could see him having like a record-breaking day and just Drake May feeding him. He's reading his self-help books on the sideline, just catching 5 balls every drive. That's a big AJ Brown day.
Hopefully not week 3.
Matt, your offensive player of the year.
Wow. I want to go back to Saquon for the bias pick, and it's tough not to say Jahmyr Gibbs just because he's in the volume. There's going to be too much volume for him not to do something with it. But I'm never usually a chalk guy, so I will go with my first-round pick, and that's Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Lions offense going to be a lot better this year.
Lot better. Huge. And not that a bounce back year for Amon-Ra is literally offensive player of the year. I mean, he still was good last year, and they didn't live up to expectations, so to say. So, yeah, I like the value on Amon-Ra. Still young, well in his prime. And, Dan Campbell's going to have those guys firing.
I like that pick.
Yeah, we'll talk about our team predictions in a bit, but Lions are at the top of my list this year for teams that can make a real run. My pick for offensive player of the year.
Here we go.
Justin Jefferson. Kyler Murray comes into Minnesota.
Ooh.
We've seen him back in the days with D-Hop. If he has a star wide receiver, he's going to feed him. He's going to find him. Justin Jefferson has been starving to get back to the level of that elite wide receiver, and he just hasn't had anyone throw him the ball. Now he does. And yes, Kyler Murray hasn't been great, really, 3 or 4 years since we've seen a good Kyler Murray. But if there's one place Kyler Murray's going to succeed, maybe besides Seattle, it's Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's funny because Justin Jefferson was a guy I had circled at number 10 to draft, and the fact that Amon-Ra fell to 10 in our league, I was tough. I mean, those are the 2 guys. I knew one of them was going to be there. I happened to be in the first round where both those guys were there. I went with Amon-Ra just because there's a little bit more of a trust there with Jared Goff. There's a little bit more of, those short, quick catches that he can eat up PPR points. So Amon-Ra just felt a little safer, but I am all in on Justin Jefferson to have a huge, talk about bounce back year, a huge bounce back year.
It's in the cards. We're betting on Kyler Murray to do it, man. And he's definitely disappointed.
And that's ultimately why I went with Amon-Ra at 10. Now, I didn't think Amon-Ra was going to be there at 10. That's a different story. Came to those 2 guys. I went Amon-Ra. But again, like I said, love what Jettas should have in store this year. No Jahmyr Gibbs out of Bry, though. I thought Brian was for sure going Gibbs.
No.
Which kind of makes me love the Amon-Ra pick even more.
I like the Lions. I just don't. Gibbs will be good, just not offensive player of the year good.
Fair enough.
I mean, I definitely think there's a reason why he's the front runner, but so I'm not going to say he's not going to be in that conversation.
Who will be in the conversation for you? You have to pick 3 guys
in the offensive player of the year conversation.
AJ Brown.
Outside of AJ Brown, let me think about this. I think Jamar Chase has a shot if Joe Burrow can stay healthy. and he puts up another Triple Crown ridiculous season like he did in 2024. I think same goes for CeeDee Lamb. Like if he puts up another 2023 CeeDee Lamb season, like he could be OPOY as well. From the running backs, I think it could be James Cook. Like I could see him as a little bit of a dark horse. I mean, you just got to think about team. Like these awards usually go to players on good teams.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of why I liked Justin Jefferson too. I think the Vikings are going to be good.
I think
you might have picked the worst team.
Yeah, I don't think you can say that when you're tossing out the Vikings. I thought you might go there.
Defensive Player of the Year. Seems like an award that is going to be won by one guy, but maybe we have different opinions. I'll let Jack, you're a big defense guy. You throw it out first again.
Yeah, I'm kind of with the first part that you said. I think Myles Garrett is such a shoo-in for this. I mean, he wins it almost every year with the Browns, and now he goes to LA and gets all the hype and the media allure. So I feel like he would be a pretty easy shoo-in for this. But yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna say Myles Garrett, man. I mean, they're gonna go 80-0, and he's gonna get an award.
It's tough to pick against Garrett. I don't know how you do. I really don't. And plus 400, like that's so juicy for a guy. Like it almost feels like he should be plus 150. I mean, plus 400 for a guy who, like you said, Jack, feels like such a shoe-in to win this. I think there's like even plus 400 is crazy value on a guy like Myles Garrett. But just for the sake of having a conversation, don't hate the bounce back potential in Aiden Hutchinson. And you could say, well, maybe you have him as the comeback player of the year, if it's even a comeback spot for him. But don't hate the value there on Hutchinson to sneak out a DPOY.
Some call him the correct first overall pick of the 2023 NFL draft.
I think he probably was.
I disagree.
Jack intended.
From draft day until where we stand right here, right now, 6:36 on 8/24/26. I'm happy with Trayvon Walker, man. At least I don't have to deal with a player who's got a reconstructed leg or whatever the heck he's got going on.
You have gotten kind of bailed out by Hutchinson's inability to stay healthy.
Yeah.
In that.
Yeah, I mean that's what you do when you draft a guy that's the size of a gorilla. Like, have you seen Trayvon Walker?
How far along is that project? Because you did say, I believe your words were, it was a project pick. How far
100%.
along is that project now, and how far along does it need to be?
Comparatively to Hutchinson coming out of college, he was definitely more of a project than Hutchinson. Yeah, I mean, but look at him now, dude. I mean, he's elite.
So it's 100% the project's done? Or are we talking like 80%? You got to finish it by midnight.
No, I mean, I don't know what more. I mean, any player can always get better. I'm not going to like take that out of his bag, but he's already everything we need him to be. He's an elite edge defender. And maybe he doesn't get the 17.5 sacks that some guys can put up, but nobody gets by him in the run game. I mean, he's literally a wall out there. And that's what led us to having he's one of the reasons we had the number one rushing defense last year. So I don't know if the Lions can say that. They were getting gashed.
They were.
No, but it is interesting. Walker, not even listed on here, and Hutchinson at 3. I do find that a bit interesting. Don't even have odds for the guy.
I think Aiden Hutchinson's more of a fan favorite, and Trayvon Walker's got to deal with Josh Hines-Allen on the opposite side. So that's just a guy that's going to take away a lot of numbers from you.
Doesn't get much sacks either. Don't really win Defense Player of the Year for TFLs.
No.
I guess you could. But
no, it's the flashy sacks.
It's sacks or interceptions. You got to either be like a lockdown corner that gets a couple turnovers, or the edge defender that wrecks games.
Yeah. Well,
Just to say a little bit of, I got a little bit of beef. Like, we could give it to like a middle linebacker who puts up like damn near 200 tackles. I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
Luke Kuechly won a couple. There just hasn't been a linebacker like Luke Kuechly. Did he win a couple? He should have won a couple.
I don't know, but
Dude,
another day, another dollar.
I mean, it's quick Google.
Feels like he was playing like during J.J. Watt's
He only won it once.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like J.J. Watt had like a run of all of the DPOYs during his era.
Yeah, J.J. and T.J. went like 8 years in a row. They had like a LeBron finals run with DPOYs. Luke Kuechly, actually the youngest player ever to win Defensive Player of the Year.
That's awesome.
At 22 years old.
That's actually insane.
My pick for this year's Defensive Player of the Year, he's not that young, but he is pretty young. It's the guy that got traded for Myles Garrett. Jared Verse, going back home to Ohio. Revenge season. We know he's got Deshaun Watson throwing passes on the other side, so a lot of opportunities to get sacks after he throws interceptions. I think Jared Verse has something to prove this year. He wants to stick it to the Rams and say, hey, you might win the Super Bowl, but I'm a hell of a player and might get 20 sacks.
I'm a Jared Verse guy, so I would love to see that.
Yeah, I was actually looking at him when we were talking all this Myles Garrett stuff. Plus 3,000 is tremendous value for, the double teams are going to be a pain in the ass for him all year, but
that's true.
are going to have to rely on him.
I want to see him do well. He really got just spit on in that whole ordeal.
It happens, man.
I guess he's making millions of dollars. He'll be fine.
He might have to stick it out with the Browns for a few seasons, and then he can go get a bag somewhere else and play in LA or San Fran or Jacksonville.
Have to throw Jacksonville in there.
Hey, Tally was only a few hours away.
It's true.
Talking about going home to Ohio, go home to Florida, North Florida.
Offensive Rookie of the Year. Matt, you can start us off this time.
This one, people aren't going to love what I saw in preseason. Think he'll be in early as a starter, maybe not to start the year, but early, and we'll run away with this. Give me Carson Beck at plus 2,500. I think he's stealing the Offensive Rookie of the Year, especially after the 50-50 with Jeremiah Love, and a lot of reports coming out of Raider camp that Mendoza, they like Kirk. They like what they got in him.
They do like Kirk.
They love him over there.
Max Crosby doesn't like Kirk.
You think Carson Beck plays enough games to be in this conversation, though?
Yes, I do. I think there's a reason why he's not longer odds. Plus 2,500. He's not at the top of the list, but he's not Cyrus Allen at the bottom.
I know.
Yeah, I get a kick out of that one.
Got 100% of leagues. Cyrus Allen on my roster.
Yeah, I don't hate that call. If you think Carson Beck is taking over for Jacoby Brissett, and I did like his tape in the preseason. It was good.
Look good.
If you think he's gonna come in and take over the job, then by all means, I think that's a fair pick. I'm hesitant. I don't know if he's gonna be playing enough to garner that attention and that award, and that's why I'm kind of between two guys: either Jadarian Price at plus 600 or Deshaun Stribling at plus 950. These are two guys that should be on the field right away. Jadarian Price should be the starting running back in Seattle, and they sent Ken Walker away. Zach Charbonnet is dealing with the coming back from an injury. This should be his job, and if he can come in and be the bell cow, pretty good team. Super Bowl champs, defending Super Bowl champs. I think that he could definitely have enough attention and just opportunity to win it. And then on the flip side, Deshaun Stribling, I mean, the 49ers, everyone is hurt always. And I feel like the only receiver that's healthy over there right now is Mike Evans, and that probably won't last long. So this rookie could be Brock Purdy's number one from day one. And if that's the case, he could be in store for a big season.
I like both those calls. You look at this list of like the guys that are the favorites, even though the biggest favorite is Jeremiah Love and he's plus 470. But like Matt just said, you don't know what the timeshare is going to be like over there. You don't know if Mendoza is going to play. Even Carson Beck on this list, you don't know if he's going to play. Carnell Tate's on the Titans. Yeah, Price and Stribling both on good teams and should get good playing time. I like both of those. But I do have to plant my flag. Matt mentioned him. I can't do all this talking and not plant my flag here. Cyrus Allen getting disrespected again at plus 600.
Stop.
I'm not going to stop because everyone wants me to stop.
600,
6,000. It should be plus 600. It is plus 6,000. It should be plus 600. Everyone's always telling me 5th round receiver, undersized, all this. The Kansas City Chiefs have the best quarterback in the NFL, maybe the second best quarterback of all time. And their wide receivers are Rashee Rice, who's dealing with off-the-field drama every year, and when he's not, he's probably hurt. Tyquan Thornton, who doesn't have a left leg right now. Who else is on that roster besides Cyrus Allen, who Patrick Mahomes already loves? He's making a play every day in training camp. He's doing things where these other receivers, you're worried about Rashee Rice hobbling back to be ready for week 1, and the other ones are non-existent. They can't give the ball to Kenneth Walker 50 times a game. Patrick Mahomes wants to throw. Travis Kelce's 55 years old, and he's worried about his marriage now. Rashee Rice has to worry about the law. Tyquan Thornton doesn't have a leg. Cyrus Allen wants to make a name for himself. And what better place to make a name for yourself than with the best quarterback in the NFL and the second best quarterback of all time in a year where he wants to bounce back and go make the playoffs and go win another Super Bowl? Give me Cyrus Allen. Cyrus Allen's going to be one of the best receivers in this league.
Wow. Brian loves what he's seen on the tape so far. And there's been a lot of flashy, like 10-second highlights of him catching balls in Kansas City. And that, I feel like, usually doesn't bode well for picking a pick like this. But good luck.
You know what, Brian? When I was making this outline and putting the odds on there, there's a reason I left Cyrus Allen on. He was the last name before the crop. I knew you might go for him. I was really hoping you wouldn't. I was hoping you'd give us someone a little bit more realistic. But with that flag plant, I can understand why you're going with Cyrus Allen. Like, if you've got that belief, brother, by all means, I support you. I'm not getting there. Like you mentioned it. They're going to want to give the ball to Ken Walker 50 times a game. They still have Travis Kelce, Rashee Rice. And yes, they all have their issues, but that's 1, 2, 3 before you get to Cyrus Allen, no matter which way you slice it. And then on top of that, you're coming off an injury with Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be a defensive-minded team. I can't get there.
Those are all fair points. I just think between this crop not being the best of rookies and Cyrus Allen having Patrick Mahomes to throw him the football, the value's there. There's a path.
Yeah, there's definitely, and this also is just going into me fading the Chiefs this year. And I know
you hate the Chiefs.
And I know you're in on them and a huge bounce back for them in Mahomes. So I get it.
I just had to get a little fired up about Cyrus Allen. A little tired from the weekend. That was a little difficult to muster up the courage, but we made it happen. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Jack, we'll start with you for this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with my favorite defensive player coming out of this draft, and I think it was a pretty decent landing spot with the Dallas Cowboys going with Caleb Downs. I just think that he's probably the best defensive athlete in this class. He's smooth, man. I think he's going to be a good safety in this league, and it'll only help that he's wearing the Cowboy star on his jersey and helmet. I mean, he'll get all the attention he needs to win this Defensive Rookie of the Year award.
Yeah, before Matt, you go, I 100% agree with you, Jack. There's nobody the NFL media wants to give awards to more than the Dallas Cowboys, and they haven't been able to these last couple of years. Caleb Downs is the perfect stat sheet, and he's a good football player, but he's going to light up the stat sheet and be perfect for one of these. And he's probably never going to win a DPOY, so why not win the Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Wow.
Well, as much as I want to go Arvell Reese, I can't.
I'm getting shades of Sauce Gardner,
Mm-hmm. It's a great call. A little bit of a better team, but.
Well, I don't really have a great pick here. I just didn't watch these players enough in college to know their games well enough, but there's one I did. And just when you think the Red Raiders are done,
you can't go back to the well.
We're going to Jacob Rodriguez to lead the league as rookie with I don't know how many tackles, but enough to win him this award. Plus 1,500. Give me Jacob Rodriguez. And one last sliver of what's the word I'm looking for? Something clinging on to that Red Raider team. That's defense was just really so unbelievable. I know everybody's looking at David Bailey, but Jacob Rodriguez was a true leader. Flies around, just has the nose for the ball. He starts stacking up 6-7 tackle, couple tackles for a loss, fumble recovery gets. I don't know. He's going to be so much playing time on a horrible Dolphins team. Much playing time.
He's not only going to play every snap, but he'll be on the field for 80% of the snaps of the entire game with Malik Willis going 3 and out.
Probably. They'll run the ball a lot. There won't be many snaps in those games.
Lots of tackles for Rodriguez. He might be playing quarterback by the end of the season.
Miami's known for that Wildcat.
Those odds scream that the books believe in a lot of tackles for this guy this year.
Yeah, one thing the books also that's interesting, Reuben Bain Jr., the man who slid down draft boards during the actual NFL draft, he's number 1 as far as odds to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. And I also, not that this really matters much, but I saw that PFF graded him as their best defensive rookie in the preseason so far. So with all that said, I mean, man, why the slide? Just the short arms?
Yeah.
Short arms.
And he did have some driving issues, I believe. May or may not have killed someone.
Oh.
Or been in a car with someone that killed. There was a weird story going around.
Let's make sure we get it right, Brian.
Well, I think it was a rumored story, so I don't even know if the story was right.
Moving on to comeback player of the year. Brian, why don't you start us off for this one?
As much as I want to say Patrick Mahomes, I'm going to keep my Chiefs for our next couple picks down the road here. Not many times I'll be able to go back to this well, unfortunately, because I think the Commanders are going downhill quickly as a franchise after their little 2024 run. Jaden Daniels, he's going to stay healthy this year. He's got Stephon Diggs to throw the football to now, along with Terry McLaurin, obviously. I like their running back room, even though it's a bunch of misfit toys. I think it's better than Brian Robinson and the ghost of Austin Eckler they were running with. So I do like this cast of characters Jaden Daniels has. Chigakonkwo there too. If he can just stay on the field, he's going to put up enough numbers to where I trust him. I trust him here to win the comeback play of the year after doing nothing last year.
Yeah, I mean, even with the Tunsil injury, I think you could still say this is probably the best offense he's had.
Oh, I mean, definitely.
It's only year 3, but being able to throw to Terry, and I think Stephon Diggs is pretty borderline washed, but he's still going to be a fine wide receiver too for a team. And like you said, Chig and the misfit toys at running back, it should be a good offense. And with Jaden Daniels and his running ability, anything is honestly possible. We saw them go all the way to the NFC
Championship.
Beat
Detroit in the divisional round.
My gosh. Yeah, we saw him go all the way to the NFC Championship in his rookie year. So I don't hate that. He's definitely got the potential. If he could win Rookie of the Year when we weren't believing in him, I guess he can win comeback now.
I love Jaden Daniels. I love him just because you guys hated him so much.
Yeah, Brian was going Jaden Daniels all. I mean, we didn't even need to get his 2 cents on this pick. I mean,
Yeah.
we knew that's what
5
was
cents.
going up. What traditionally does this pick normally go to a quarterback? I mean, where do we usually fall position wise for this pick? There's probably a trend where it's sat out there where this pick typically falls.
Quarterback or DeMar Hamlin.
I was going to say, it usually goes to a quarterback or someone who's got like a really good story for
and I mean, are there any like guys who almost died on the field the year prior on this list? Because if not, probably go to a quarterback.
I wouldn't say that we have a DeMar Hamlin situation, but there are 2 names that pop out to me as like stories that the NFL could and the media could get behind. Tank Dell with the leg injury and his comeback, like even though he doesn't have to put up that much numbers, just him coming back and playing some NFL football and flashing some goodness, like that's good enough for him to be in this conversation. I also think Jonathan Brooks with the double ACL tear could be in the conversation for this as well.
Yeah, plus 4,000 for Jonathan Brooks. So the books still love Chubba Hubbard down there in Carolina.
So last year, this was McCaffrey that won, but McCaffrey's McCaffrey.
Right.
And then every year before that, it's been a quarterback, except in 2017 when Keenan Allen came back from, I think that was his lacerated kidney.
Like Fred Warner has like feel-good story written all over it.
Do defensive players ever win this?
That's a great question. The last defensive player was Eric Berry, who was coming back from cancer. So DeMar Hamlin actually did not win it. Flacco beat out Hamlin, but I think they gave Hamlin like.
Didn't they have like they made an award for him kind of thing?
Yeah, they gave him like the Give Back to Football award or something because he started that charity.
So
the last defensive player was Eric Berry in 2015.
All right. So maybe not Fred Warner. But Warner, as much as the media gets behind the Cowboys, the media loves Niners as well.
Yeah, they do love themselves some Fred Warner. No doubt about that.
They do. They definitely do. But in terms of making a pick and knowing what we know now, feels like, and we're talking about who the media is going to pick the story around. I mean, not to be the chalk guy, but I mean, this award's going to Patrick Mahomes, and it's not going to be particularly close.
So what is he coming back from? Because like there's the narrative that he was hurt, but he got hurt at the end of the year. Like he was just ass last year.
Yes, but here the fact that they already have him at plus 200, and we know how much the media and the league protects and loves this guy.
Brian, what are you so confused about? Like he's basically, I think that he might be more of a shoe-in for this.
Early enough. He didn't get hurt early enough.
I don't think you get the Comeback Player of the Year award for just being ass the year before.
He tore his ACL. You get it for coming back from an injury. Yes. And he's also Patrick Mahomes. Like if he's not going to be in conversation for the MVP, they're going to try and give him Comeback Player of the Year. Like that's
that'd be disrespectful.
But that's how Christian McCaffrey won it last year. Like he could have been in the conversation he was in the conversation for OPOY, and they were like, we're going to give this one to JSN. We'll give you Comeback Player of the Year. It's a consolation prize almost.
Yeah. There's again, unless Mahomes
sucks.
Like if he sucks or like goes and wins the MVP, which I don't know if do you win the MVP and win the Comeback Player of the Year? I don't know.
I don't think they would.
They would just give you MVP and give somebody else comeback.
And I think people feel stronger for other candidates than Mahomes getting this MVP award, which is why this comeback award is just it's right there for him, right there for the taking. I mean, he doesn't even have to have an spectacular year.
Okay, yeah.
And they'll lob this guy the award.
I just looked at. I thought the NFL had some moral value about this
No.
award. In 2010, they gave it to Michael Vick. So yeah, Mahomes can certainly win this for just being ass.
There you go. Hey, and Vic was electric.
It's pretty much any time.
I don't know if he came back from a great thing to come back from.
He didn't come back from a great thing to come back from. That's for sure.
3-year prison stint.
Yeah, definitely.
Immediately awarded with some hardware.
Yeah.
Wrong place, wrong time, right?
Hey, did better than Edwin Diaz after his scandal. Jack, did you give out Mahomes too?
Look, I really don't want to. I think
I don't know
that
if Jack made a pick.
I'm in the same boat as I was for Myles Garrett, where I'm like, I just think Mahomes is a shoo-in. But if I'm going to give out some darts on this one, I do like the Jonathan Brooks play, especially because Chuba Hubbard got hurt recently. So I think Jonathan Brooks can come in to Carolina week 1, be the starter. And if he could be the guy for the majority of the season, I definitely think that he could be in the conversation for this. But he also has to have like a really good season on top of it because he's playing Carolina. He doesn't have that big of a stardom next to his name. You know, he wasn't like a Bijan drafted 5th overall. Even though he was the first running back
to Bijan,
yeah, Texas and whatever else. So I like him though, definitely with the whole storyline, and then I also like a little sprinkle on Travis Hunter. With him having the big injury last year, if he can come in this year and play both sides of the ball and look explosive, make highlight plays, he's a guy the media loves and could definitely get attention for this vote.
Yeah, Heisman. I wonder how many Heisman and NFL Comeback Player of the Year awards there's been. Probably not many. That'd be a cool story. I also, when Jack tried to trade me Breece Hall today, he was trying to trade for Jonathan Brooks. So now I understand why he wanted Jonathan Brooks after hearing that.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, is what it is.
Okay, we have one more award to get into before we have our surprise team, disappointing team, and our Super Bowl teams and winner of the Super Bowl. Very, very quickly, because our guy Will, our editor Will, just sent me this stat. An honorary Michael of the week. Kyle Schwarber just hit his 225th home run of his Phillies career in his 751st game. Ryan Howard hit 225 home runs in his first 751 games for the Philadelphia Phillies. Wild baseball stat of the day there for you.
Wild baseball stat of the day, and let's parlay that into Phillies winning it all this year.
They are hot. Hottest team in baseball.
9 in a row.
Let's try now. Hopefully we don't have to talk about baseball because the Phillies lose in the first round of the wild card, and then we just can skip over all of baseball. But I'm sure
You could skip over that song and dance.
All right, Coach of the Year. I will start us off for this one. It's going to be John Harbaugh after the New York Giants finish a game short of the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I mean, Harbaugh seems like a strong candidate, another guy that the media loves. I think he'll get all the attention that he needs in New York, especially. New coach, there's a turnaround narrative in New York. And he inherits like a pretty bad Giants team. So, I mean, the bar isn't high for him to have, like, the Giants win 7 games, and I think he has the award wrapped up.
Mm-hmm. They'll win 8.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Like, we look at who was in the conversation for Coach of the Year last year: Mike Vrabel, Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen. These are guys who, you know, first year with a new team took them from being like single-digit win teams to 13, 14 win teams. I mean, do we really think that John Harbaugh coming in here and winning 7 games is going to get anyone's attention?
Only because
that's what Dable did last year.
There's no coaches like that.
It's not a big difference.
There's no coaches like that are coming at, like, you think Jeff Hafley's running away with the Dolphins this year?
So here's where I'm coming in is maybe
Jeff Hafley.
maybe
Poor Jeff Hafley. He's getting
maybe-
so many strays on the show.
Look, how about the guy that's replacing Harbaugh in Jesse Minter? I mean, he gets to take over a Lamar Jackson-led Ravens team who's projected to be second in the AFC. How about Joe Brady taking over for Josh Allen and the Bills as the new head coach there? And, you know, they're projected number 1 seed in the AFC. I think one of those two guys might have an easier path.
I see Hafley. Can you?
What?
Because see Hafley more than I could see Joe Brady.
Joe Brady. I mean, I don't. I'm not all in on Brady being the guy that's gonna get it done. But you're right, Jack. You're absolutely right. But I don't hate. I mean, Harbaugh in a big market, and it makes a lot of sense. And if they win 8 games and back their way into a wild card, like he's going to be right there for that award.
Yeah, Jesse Minter isn't a bad call because, like, I'm trying to think. The Bills are always good. The Ravens, they've underperformed, but it's a regular season award. So what can Minter do that Harbaugh hasn't done? And I know they missed the playoffs last year, but like every year before that, they would make the playoffs.
Well, I mean, that's just exactly what I'm saying. If he takes a team who missed the playoffs last year and brings them to a 12, 13, 14, 15 win season, I mean, it kind of seems like that's what the formula was last year. I would just think that that's probably the formula again this year. I mean, you got to win games to be in contention for this award.
Could it also just be Sean McVay? Like, what if the Rams go undefeated?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No doubt.
It very well could be.
No doubt.
It very well could be.
Or
Maybe
Liam Cohen.
Okay.
Just need to see if you go undefeated.
D'Amico Ryans could turn some heads this year, Brian.
Yeah, wins the South with CJ Stroud, the ghost of CJ Stroud.
The bounce back out of CJ.
Keyshawn Booty 100 yards a game.
Booty goes out there and catches 75 balls for 1,200 yards. Nico Collins follows it up with 100 and 1,500.
Montgomery breaks LT's record, 22 touchdowns.
Will Anderson breaks a sack record.
Sounds like Coach of the Year to me.
That sure does.
Sounds like delusion.
Speaking of delusion,
Could be
surprise team time.
Oh,
Let's get into surprise. And last year, by the way, I think, Matt, your surprise team was the Panthers. They made the playoffs.
yes.
My
Made the
surprise
playoffs,
team,
almost won the division, made the playoffs, obviously, and scored a go-ahead touchdown against the Los Angeles Rams with like a minute and a half to go, or whatever was in that crazy playoff game. I don't know if you guys remember. Coker being the hero without being the hero because they still lost. Whatever. Panthers almost really they did do great things, but a playoff win, man, would have been special.
yeah, Coker was the hero in the same way Malik Tillman was the hero in the U.S.'s World Cup game against Belgium.
Pretty much. I give it a Coker a little bit more.
Coker's lasted a little longer.
Coker, they were close. U.S. wasn't close.
I think my surprise team was the Patriots, and that was more just because of the schedule. And I got bailed out the fact they went to the Super Bowl by the schedule in the playoffs too. And then Jack, your surprise team was
I don't remember.
you might have just abstained from picking one, but you can't abstain this year.
Probably the Jags.
It was probably the Jags. And we'll say that worked out, but maybe there was that wasn't a real pick. So let's start with you this year then, so you can make your real pick first. And you can't pick the Jaguars.
I've been having a tough time. This was probably the toughest one that I had. Trying to nail it in on one team. I don't know where I want to go. I was kind of hoping I could go last so you guys could take one of these teams. I'm going to go with the Bucks.
Hmm.
And I know not a lot of people are high on them. Some people still might think that they will win their division. I know there's a lot of people that are high on the Saints. Obviously, we were just talking about it, the Panthers, or who actually won it last year. Falcons got a new coach and certainly have some talent on the roster, but I just think it's going to be the Buccaneers. Like, Baker Mayfield is still the best quarterback in that division, and I like Baker Mayfield when he's playing pissed off. And he's playing for a new contract this year. We were just talking about Reuben Bain as their first round pick. He's going to be a new edge rusher for them this year. They're always a gritty defense, Todd Bowles led. I like the Bucks, man. I think that they have a bounce back year after being one of the more injured teams last year.
I like that call. Pissed off Baker is top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good call. Not a great division, and I think people are kind of swaying towards the Saints out of that division of being like, oh, they got and they could. They still could. I mean, I do like a lot of pieces, regardless of the first round wideout going down. But Baker Mayfield pissed off. Scary stuff.
It's good stuff.
That's
Scary.
Your team?
No. I'm just saying that I'm agreeing that they could be very good. I want to hear yours, Brian.
I think you can probably tell I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings to win. I have bets in them to win the NFC North. I think that very well could finish at 12, 13 wins and win a couple playoff games with Kyler Murray under center. If there's one place to get Kyler Murray's head out of his ass and to get him to win football games, I believe in Kevin O'Connell and that Minnesota Vikings team. What's he going to do in Minnesota? He's going to be locked in all season long. He's got receivers there. They have a decent enough run game. The defense is good. I like the Vikings to make some noise this year, and I think they're still trading at plus 510 to win that division, which I think is a joke. It's a good division, but the Vikings could definitely win it. I got them going to the NFC. Yeah, they're going to the NFC Championship game to lose to the Seahawks or the Rams.
Wow. Interesting.
I can get behind the playoff team. I can definitely do that. I don't know if I can get to an NFC Championship, but they were one of the 3 teams that I was thinking in this comeback surprise sort of realm. I like that call.
Thank you.
Don't hate it. Don't hate it at all. I don't hate it. But I gave it to you, Brian, because I thought you were going to go with the Saints, so I will absolutely take the Saints. I thought I might have talked you out of it, and I think I did. But I love Kellen Moore.
Between the two.
I love Kellen Moore in year 2. Tyler Show had such a great kind of reminds me of that end of 2 years ago that Bryce Young had. And then I like them a lot. Panthers then that following year won the division. Same kind of thing here. Tyler Show had great end to last year. I know, was it Jordan Tyson went down, will be out for two months, but you have Olave, you have Juwan Johnson who gets slept on, Travis Etienne who they signed. The defense is just always tough in that building for whatever reason. And I don't think their schedule is incredibly difficult. So I will go with the New Orleans Saints. Maybe they're the division winners of the NFC South this year. But yeah, give me the Saints, make the playoffs. Don't think they do anything with it, but home playoff game for the Saints this year. Book it. That's not a fun place to go play a playoff game either.
No. Inside and outside the stadium.
Oh, no. Brian, your favorite cities are like Philly and New York. Like, it's not that much better, dude.
Nola's fun. I enjoyed my time in Nola. Some disappointing teams. I'll kick us off for the disappointing team. I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. And I know I love Josh Allen personally. I think most of NFL fans love Josh Allen, but there's something about it. They get rid of McDermott. You guys were really on this trend, I guess, when we did our last show, but who's to say Brady's going to be better than McDermott? Maybe he's not, and maybe it takes a little bit to figure that out. They didn't really do much this offseason to help Josh Allen besides bringing DJ Moore. I don't know. The AFC is going to be tough this year, and if they can't win that division, they might be in a dogfight to make the playoffs.
I'm not ready to say that they're gonna be in a dogfight to make the playoffs. I'm still squarely thinking they're a playoff team. I do think that this could bump them down, maybe a game or two or a couple, but I still think they'll be a playoff team. I mean, this is a perennial 13-win team. If they go down to 10 and still make the playoffs, like that won't shock me. But there's definitely room for this whole Joe Brady thing to not work out.
I think there's cause for concern. It was between them and the Eagles. I'm not going to pick the Eagles because I don't want to pick against Matt this early because it's too easy to say the Eagles aren't going to be good.
Is that why you don't want to do it, or you don't want that absolute bad juju looming over your head for
maybe
3 months?
I don't want to call out the Eagles.
They just look, calling them out before they play a single down, and they just come out electric. I really wish you called them out there. That would have been fun. So here's my thing. Is it crazy to say the Seattle Seahawks might be a little disappointing after being the defending champs? Sam Darnold regression. There's some risk there. NFC West is a meat grinder. Is it to say they're a disappointment because I think they could be a one and done in the playoffs and kind of believe that they maybe go out in the wild card, and that's why the Seahawks, because I think they are a one and done in the playoffs. I got the Seahawks as my maybe a little disappointing, and it's tough to say coming off the year they had, but I think we could see a bit of a step back from them this year.
So I just want to make sure I'm getting your take right. You think they still make the playoffs, but they lose first round?
Yeah, I think that's and I don't think they win the division.
Yeah, I think that does constitute as a pretty disappointing season coming off the Super Bowl win. Definitely.
So that's and are we?
I see that in the realm of possibilities for sure.
Absolutely, especially like everybody kind of knows what Sam Darnold is in Seattle now. I mean, they know what JSN is. They lose the OC.
Yeah, and I was reading some stats on JSN's season last year, and like he had one of the most ridiculous success rates on like deep ball passes in NFL history, like since it's been tracked. And things like that, I'm not going to say they can't be repeated, but they're normally not things you can bank on like year over year. Like one of those balls goes this way or that way, and it could be a whole nother game. So I like that call. I like that call.
I like it a lot too. I'm just scared to say anything bad about Seattle.
Oh yeah,
and getting bullied by their fans online.
Well,
I mean, it took me literally all year last year until the Super Bowl to believe in them.
I had context behind. I didn't just say I think the Seahawks will suck. We added additional color to the take, and I think it makes a lot of sense. The success rate that Jack talked about, Sam Darnold without the OC and coming into his second year where everybody kind of knows. I mean, it's Sam. I know he just won the Super Bowl, but it's Sam Darnold at the end of the day. I mean, this guy could blow up. He could.
He could.
There were times last year where he looked not great.
I think he threw 5 interceptions against them. No, that was 2 years ago. Never mind. Sorry, Sam. Jack, before our Super Bowl picks, your disappointing team.
Yeah, I've got – this one was a little bit easier for me. I think it's just because I'm a certified hater. But I've got 3 teams that I would love to talk about. So I'll let you guys pick. Packers, Chiefs, or Steelers?
Disappointing from what for the Steelers?
I mean, you want to talk about the Steelers? I mean,
No, they've been disappointing for the last decade.
I mean, they've also been a 500 team for the past decade.
So okay, so I see where you're going with that. Go Packers. That's do Packers.
Yeah, I'm not in on the Packers either. I mean, they were on a terrible losing skid to finish out their season last year after Brian and I were crowning them NFC's best team after week 2, after they beat the Eagles or whatever, or something like that. But I do remember we were very high on them, and Matt had to reel us in. But they're just not an impressive team to me. Their offensive line year over year is getting worse and worse. Josh Jacobs is dealing with on the field injuries, off the field legal issues. He might get suspended. The calling card of their offense for years was the versatility and different receiving weapons that they have. They shipped out Wicks to the Eagles. They shipped out Dobbs to the Patriots. So you only got 3 receivers there now. Tucker Kraft's also coming off an injury. There's not a lot of good vibes on that offense. And I've really never been a huge Jordan Love guy. So there's that too. And then defensively, they play in a good division that everyone's got a good defense. But with no Micah Parsons, at least we're not thinking he'll be there to start the season. I've just got a lot of there's so many things working against them. And in that NFC North, it's just too much for them to climb out. Like, they're not a playoff team this year. They're not a 500 team this year.
Is it crazy to say, maybe not after what Jack just explained, this is the year the Packers finally move on from Matt LaFleur?
The seat's going to be hot.
It's going to be real hot.
Yeah,
it's going to be real hot.
Might be the hottest seat in the NFL.
Who's the first coach that falls? Aaron Glenn.
I knew that was coming out of your mouth.
Aaron Glenn will be gone by week 6.
Who can you think of that long? Week 6. I mean, dude, if the Jets get smoked the first three weeks, you think he's lasting till week 6?
Yeah, because he'll put in Klubnik, and then they'll get smoked the next 3 weeks with Klubnik, and then they'll be like, all right, it's Glenn's problem.
Yeah, he seems like a good favorite. I also want to throw Todd Bowles in there because a lot of people he's been on the hot seat in Tampa, especially after the season they had last year. But I can't also say that like Baker's going to come in and they're going to be this great team while Todd Bowles so maybe not them, but
yeah, that's your sleeper team there, Jack.
I like the Bucks.
You already hate it.
I like the Bucks.
I like for the coach to get fired.
I like the personnel. I love Todd Bowles as a DC. I just don't love him as a head coach. And he's an awesome DC, like Saleh. Like, I think Saleh was an awesome DC anywhere he was, and then he goes to the Jets as a head coach, and no one really works out with the Jets. But yeah, I just prefer some guys as coordinators.
Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor's another great one. He has not been a great head coach for the Bengals.
No, what the way he was able to extend his leash so long was that Super Bowl that first year.
Yeah, and that
it just has been, he's going to get back, and he's been able to hide behind the Joe Burrow injuries.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of Super Bowl, you want to predict our Super Bowls? Tell which one of you look more terrified. I think Jack looks a little more terrified, so I want to start with him.
The Jaguars beat the Lions. Trayvon Walker beats Aiden Hutchinson in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, it's just set up for the Rams to win it at home in SoFi. I try not to be the chalk guy, but the Rams in SoFi just feels like they'll be the team that gets it done. And they're just too loaded. Like, they're just way too loaded. I don't know how any other roster kind of takes them down.
Who do you have them beating?
I will say I want to say Bills, but I don't know that the Bills get there under Brady in year one. So I will say the Rams take down.
Duval.
Jack really wants you to say Chargers.
I don't-
Jaguars.
I don't know that the Jags are getting there, man. I don't know that they're getting there. We've been.
Trust.
I'll go Rams. I just think the Rams win. I'm not giving you who they beat. You're not getting who they beat.
We are not getting an AFC champion.
You're not getting an AFC champion.
Brian, who
Fair
you got?
I have the Kansas City Chiefs beating the Jacksonville Jaguars to get to the Super Bowl out of the AFC. And in the NFC, the Dallas Cowboys beat the LA Rams to get back to the Super Bowl. And the Chiefs beat them by about 55 to win another Super Bowl.
You know what I mentioned earlier that I had 3 teams that might be surprises, and you went with the Vikings, I went with the Bucks. The third team was the Cowboys, and I could see it. I could see a Rams Cowboys NFC Championship. It's not that far fetched.
You guys know does in the playoffs, and especially Brian trying to sell me that the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl is the most insane take I've ever heard on this podcast in the almost 3 years of doing it.
In the Giants hat.
And that is in the Giants hat, by the way.
Yeah.
That is the only opinion and 2 cents you're getting out of me for that outlandish take.
Wow.
You thought the Jaguars would be the most outrageous thing in that Final Four until I got to the NFC.
I did.
Wow.
And hey, look, it was tough. It was tough all the way around trying to pick. So, I mean, I couldn't get an AFC winner, and you got the Cowboys with the Super Bowl appearance. So, here we are.
Speaking of tough to pick, our views from Section 400 Fantasy Football League is going live this week. We still have to figure out a draft date, but we need to fill the league first. So look out on our socials at Views from Section 400 everywhere. We will have instructions on how to enter. 12-man league. I believe it was full PPR last year, Jack.
I think it was, yeah.
Normal rosters. We'll draft before the season starts, and we'll figure out a nice little prize for the winner. And
come join us. Win some money or something.
No, don't. We have to win this year, man. Been
Yeah,
doing this for 2 years, and we have yet to have a staff member win.
Well, come help us win money and hang out.
Sleeper chat gets fun in there. It's a good time.
It does get fun.
Until then, we'll see you guys on Thursday. Possible fantasy football preview, possible college football preview. Stay tuned.
Duval.